Hey there, welcome to SAP College. So in this video, we will be looking how to configure asset accounting and controlling area within 20 minutes. We will be pinpointing all the mandatory steps to extend your company code to asset accounting, and we will also create one asset and try to post some procurement of assets and try to run the depreciation run. So stay tuned till the end of the video. So before going into the system, just quick heads up that we have this ebook which will depict the difference between the classic asset accounting and new asset accounting in S/4HANA. So in this book we have discussed the detailed concept of what are the changes that has been made in S/4HANA as compared to our classic old asset accounting. And we also noticed from the feedback of the users or the readers that there are concepts that we discussed in this book that was unknown to many even in the classic asset accounting. So when you will read it, what has been changed in new asset accounting, you will also find out the new things that are already there in classic asset accounting. So even if you are still working on the ECC asset accounting, you can still give it a read. The link is in description box. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn and Instagram, where we are active. We share the new updates that are happening in SAP, new knowledge articles. So you can connect us over there. So without any further ado, let's get started with the asset accounting configuration. Okay. So far in this company code setup series, we have configured the GL, AP, AR, and now we will be configuring the asset accounting. Okay, so these are the steps that are outlined here. So first step is going to be copying the reference chart of account to our depreciation area. Okay. So in EC08, you can copy the standard chart of account that are there for your country into your own custom chart of depreciation, so that you are free to make any changes or whatever as per the requirement of your client. So we'll find the sample chart of depreciation area for India. So you can see there are a couple of depreciation areas. Let's take this to SP and we'll create AS02 as our own. Okay, so it is copied. Alright. So whatever the depreciation areas are there in standard will be copied to all. So next step would be to maintaining this. This is actually blocked by some another user. Let's unlock it quickly. Okay, so we have to maintain the input and output tax codes for procuring any assets. Okay, so this is the mandatory. Until and unless you do this step, you will not be able to assign your chart of depreciation to your company code. Okay, so now we will be assigning our company code to the chart of depreciation that we created, which is also AS02. Let's save it. So the next step is to specify the number range across company codes. Okay, so for this we will go to AO11, and these are like this step is like pre-maintained, so just cross verify. AO71, so this is also by default maintained. If you want to change the document type, you can. Okay. Then in next step we will be maintaining the assignment type for account assignment object. This is only required when you already have the controlling area configured. So we don't have it yet configured. We'll look into this step later on. Okay, so let's just skip that and go to OAYH. So this you can see. So this will also be maintained. You if you have the depreciation area for other currencies, then you have to come here and maintain or specify that currency, right? So next step will be defining our own account determination for asset class. So the asset class are like what we can say, asset class are the client level setup that we configure, and also the account determination. But here just so we have our own account determination, just so someone else don't mess up with our setup. That's why we are just creating it, because it's a sandbox system. Okay, let's go to asset class, then specify account determination, right? We'll just create one account determination entry. Next is to specify the screen layout rules for asset class. Okay, define number range for interval. So we will need a number range for our asset master account, right? So we'll just define one number range. Okay, let's save it. So the define asset classes, right? So we will create one asset class for to create assets under it, and what we will do, we will assign our own account determination or the rules that we just created and the number range that we just defined, right? So our account determination is AS02. Screen layout rule. Okay, so we have created one AS02, but then we have to maintain the screen layout rules into that rule. So we just use existing standard one. Okay, so the number range is 01. We just created. So it's normal asset class. Then define depreciation areas in asset class. Determine areas in asset class, right? So this is also one mandatory steps that we have to do. Okay, so our asset class is AS02, and here we have option to activate these areas and specify the rules for both the depreciation area. So if we don't activate it here, we are not able to create asset master data with these two depreciation areas, right? So we have to set the predefined depreciation key here that can also be changed at asset master level, but just if we maintain here, then every time it will appear into our asset master whenever we will create new asset master. Then next step is to determine the GL accounts. So A090. Okay, let's unblock it in a second. Okay, right. So our chart of depreciation is AS02, chart of account is AS02, and account determination is also AS02 that we assign to our this. So we have to create new GL account and then assign it over there. Let's create one GL account for land. It will be asset, balance sheet account. Short text, let's give land. Building. Okay, so it will be the recon account of asset. Standard, save it. Okay, so we'll just assign this account into our balance sheet APC account, right? So any new procurement will get posted to this GL. So we'll not be testing other scenarios, so we'll just keep the other fields blank, and we'll maintain the depreciation account also. So we are doing this accumulated depreciation account, that will also be our asset and comes under asset recon. So let's copy this and assign. Let's save this setup. Okay. So by default it will be selected as monthly posting, but we can change if we need, but I don't think there is any scenario. So if I found netbook earlier depreciation, so OAYO. This will also, we will keep it as it is, as a arithmetic rounding. So any depreciation value will be in much longer points, will be rounded up arithmetically. Okay, then the screen layout, we are using the standard one, and the depreciation key also we take one depreciation key that was standard, right? So so once this configuration is completed, we would be able to create asset master. So we'll just try to create one asset. Okay, our asset class is AS02. So we have to give the cost center field. Someone just made the cost center field as mandatory, and we don't have a cost center created in our company code. We don't have a controlling area setup actually for company code, and I think it is also not possible to skip the cost center. Okay, and if we try to save, it will ask us to fill it anyway, right? So what we'll do, we'll maintain the controlling setup and only the mandatory setup, so that we should be able to create a cost center and use that in our asset, right? So let's unlock this OKKP transaction first. create a controlling area as AS02. Using a cross company code cost accounting, just so that in future if we have to add multiple company codes into under same controlling area, right, with the different set of things, right. So the only requirement is that the chart of account and fiscal year warrant should be like same across company codes, whatever we are assigning to the same controlling area. Will activate the components for current fiscal year. Okay, the company code assigned to controlling area. Okay, so first we have to assign the company code to controlling area. We can do that in OX19 or in same OKKP also. We can assign this. Okay, so let's search for our controlling area. Select it, and our company code is also AS02. So save it. So we have to maintain the number range for our controlling area. For different objects that we will be creating under this controlling area, and you can see this like COI and all those objects need a number range. We can have either different number ranges for each object, or the same number range we can assign to multiple objects. So whenever that object will be posted, the one controlling document will be created using that object, under that object, using the assigned number range sequence, right. So in K and K we will be defining the number range and assigning it to the object. We are not able to save the number range with the group. External number ranges would not work. It's better we should copy from the standard. Now you can see that we got assigned to this different objects to the different number range objects. Right. So next step would be to maintaining versions for controlling area. Okay, so we have to define the planning version, which will be 0. We have to like extend that version to our controlling area also. So we'll select the 0 planner actual version, and then we'll go to this settings for each fiscal year for our controlling area. Okay, so it's already maintained for next like 5 years. Okay, the next step we will activate the components. Okay, so we'll again go to OKKP. We'll select our controlling area and we'll activate the components for current fiscal year, right? So it will be 22 component. Like we'll activate the cost center, order management, commitment management, activity based costing also we can activate if required. So profit center accounting we needed, projects we need, sales order based costing we need, cost object we can activate. So we'll activate all of these and just save it. Okay. Then company is already assigned. Good. Okay, so the creation of cost elements we don't need. So with this setup we can we should be able to create a cost center now. Okay, so our controlling area is L02. So we have to give a name to cost center. So let's give it like AS02 IN0. The name to our cost center and fill up the required information. So the cost center category we can select one as production. This is the profit center. Let's see if there is any available. Nothing is there. Okay, alright, let's just skip the profit center as of now. Okay, so our cost center is created, and now we'll just quickly look at the cost center. So yeah, it's all good. So we'll use this cost center in our asset. So we'll again now try to create one asset master, AS01. So we got an error. Control indicator for S02 do not exist for fiscal year 2021. Check your entries are defined. Okay, right. So we have activated our components in FY 2022, right? So I think actual ongoing year is just 2021. So we have to again activate our component for 2021 also in OKKP. So first let's unlock that transaction and then maintain it for 21. we will activate all of these cost objects and then save it in 2021. Okay, so we are good now. Let's come back again in AS01 and try to create the asset. Okay, asset class the same. Let's give some useful life because that's mandatory and save it. Okay, so our asset master is created. So we can say we are good with the configuration that we did. Now let's procure the asset that we have just created, right? So we'll procure it through F-91 with the clearing account against clearing account. So I think we have one vendor AH02 created, we can use that. Let's give the amount, then the posting it will be 70 and the asset we just created, we will select that. Transaction type as 100. Let's simulate it and save it. Okay, so the document is posted and our asset, we just procure the asset, right? We can cross verify same in AW01 and transaction, and we can see the values are updated. Let's check what are the values, and the planned depreciation of 500 rupees it's also updated, right? So we can try to post the depreciation for it for period 12, but I guess number range 05 has not been created. Okay, we got error for number range, so we'll just quickly create 105 number range. Okay, insert 05. So now if you try again, okay, according to cycle you should post period 01 first. So yeah, right. So what is happening, we should have to post the depreciation from first period to the end of the year, and then we will be able to see 500. So we'll not go into that, since considering it will not add any value, right? So with this we can conclude that we have configured the asset accounting and controlling area, right? And with this setup we can now say that we, in our company code config series, we have completed the GL setup, AP AR setup, and now asset accounting setup, and we also configured our controlling area, activate component management, and we also created the cost center, right? So in our next series of videos, what we will be configuring is the project system setup. Okay, and then after that we will configure the treasury module setup, then investment management setup, then our FIMM, FISD cross configuration setup, integration setup. So stay tuned for this further module setup. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also check out the description box where we have given the link of the ebook that we discussed at the start of the video. And thanks for watching.